Best not miss.
talk to me like that again. You hear me? Huh?
Shout out to all of my day ones and my stay ones up in this mammy. Today is a good day. I'm not going to lie. Today is a good day. We got plenty of work done. Last night we went absolutely nuts. We went absolutely nuts last night, chopping up all of the clips after clips after clips after clips. And therefore, what I have to say to you guys is, we got heat. Shout out to all of my people down there rocking out with us. What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to Dexter over here, dropping the first show support. 57-year-old. Them folks can never be friends, allies, very bad actors. I'm dealing with them. Oh my. You know what? We might as well, because this, I have different platforms. For different platforms, for different topics, I know how different platforms are going to go. This is one of the ones where Instagram will be able to sink their teeth into this one. Go there. Take this. Really has no point in even doing TikTok today, but I guess not a big deal.
I see a black man married to a white woman.
Something. 1,000 pardons, people. I need you guys, while I'm doing this, I need you guys to share the show. Share the show. Let's go, people. Hit that thumbs up button and share the show. Okay. We might as well be ready to go. Listen, what we're talking about today is a lot of you might not be familiar with the whole case or whatever the case may be. But there's a white teen some time ago. He's a TikToker. He's a famous TikToker. He speeds really fast in his car and things like that. And he even offers people cash prizes to guess how many miles per hour he's going right now, this and that. Well, he was a teenager when this happened. He was doing, I think, around 150 miles an hour. And he took the lives of 6 people, 6 Haitian immigrants who were farmers coming home from their way to work. Now, I might as well go ahead and break the ice now. The guy who was driving was a young white teen. The people who lost their lives, the 6 people who lost their lives, were 6 Haitian immigrants, black people, right? The reason that I find so much value in this channel is because it's a place where things can be discussed, where people can exact each other's point of view and measure each point of view and concept against the bar of logic, historical facts, data, things like that, and come to the closest that we can get to a fact or understanding, right? I do truly believe that in white America, it has become easier to pretend that you even have blacks doing it. Officer Tatum and people like this. I think it has become easier for white Americans to act like blacks don't go through anything significant over here, opposed to acknowledge. I think if they were forced to acknowledge, look, blacks are getting hung right now. They just found another little black girl. I think she was 14 years old, right? People are wondering what happened to Noah. What is it? Noah Wells? Like, these wonderings and these, I wonder what happened, are not occurring in the white community. They're not occurring. Well, did he hang himself? It's not happening in the Asian community. I do believe that there are some white Americans who can, like, I don't know. I just don't believe you can even be that ignorant in America. You can't live in America and not know that African Americans get treated different than everybody else through the judicial system, through opportunities, things like that. Which is why I enjoy having these conversations, because these conversations allow us. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Byron Allen is a billionaire. He's a billionaire, right? Multi-billionaire, I believe. You know, when people say that's victim mentality and things like that, I don't think you can become a billionaire by having a victim mentality, right? It's not just that. LeBron James is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They spray painted nigger on his estate in California. This is not a pity party show. What this is real talk. We hold real discussions so we can come up with real solutions. There is no way. Why do you think we go back and forth with black women like we do? There is no way that you can resolve anything if you won't acknowledge that it is taking place. That's the problem that we're having. And we don't know what it is. As African Americans, we don't know what it is. We don't know what percentage of Caucasians are like, are intentionally lying to themselves. You know, even the thing that they used to mimic what Charlie Kirk would say. What did he say? Name something a black can do that a white can do that a black can't. That was like the most asinine question ever. He worded that question so it would be difficult. It never was different. I know that I can't go in the judicial system and get the same treatment as white Americans. We all know all of these things. Now, the reason that's cool about this show is this show allows us to find out who people are who partake in the evils that are done to blacks, whether you're just racist for the fun of it, or the people who, we really can't fathom a world where there's anybody in America who doesn't know that blacks get treated different. We don't know. But just for argument's sake, I don't know. I don't know how we can frame it. Even people who say we have a victim mentality, do you really believe that? You really do know what's going on with us over here, right? So it makes it really difficult for us to say, are these, is he really is he seriously asking? Or I have a cousin who says that, a black cousin who says there's no such thing as racism in America. Right? I want to say this. A lot of the things that you guys see taking place coming out of the African American community, a lot of it is real. A lot of the things that we do that you guys say, that was dumb as hell. We really do that stuff. We are a people in America who have been experimented on. Psychological warfare and do you know what it's like being black? Every day you have to wonder how much you're going to take. Is this the time to stand up and revolt against racism and go full speed ahead when the next time you hear that a little black girl has been found dangling from a tree? Do you know what that feels like? It makes you feel like a coward, to be honest. Because what we do know as black people, this is why you have people like Officer Tatum and people like this. This is why you have people who they just choose to do whatever they can. And opposed to being black in America, being black in America is so uncomfortable and at times so painful to where some people have opted out of the black experience and just tried to figure out things they could do to make white America believe, hey, I'm one of you guys, right? They'll use the hard R. A black person will use the hard R to try to gain the approval of their white friends and things like that. It's really tough being black in America. Every day of our lives, we deal with it. Every single day of our lives. There's things that we have to worry about that you don't have to worry about. I called my cousin on the phone for you guys 2 days ago, and I asked him if they came to you and said that you were dealing a substance 3 years ago, but you couldn't account for exactly where you were at that 3 years ago, and they offered you a 3-year plea bargain, would you take it? Everybody heard him say, I have to do the 3 years. You know why? Because we know in black America, if we go to trial, do you know that blacks don't really go to trial? Blacks don't really go to trial. We know better. We know better. We know where we're at. And for you guys to suggest, and I'm not saying all whites, I'm just talking about Latinos, whoever it is who doesn't understand the black experience. For you guys who like to say that we're embellishing about our experience here and that we're just exaggerating and things like that, I want you to know this. One thing that African Americans have to deal with every day, we know we're being slaughtered. It's visible in the eyes of everybody. None of you, even the most diehard racists, can give me an example where an unarmed person needs to be popped up 42 times. Then some of the cops reclip and start popping again. There is nobody. We're on 4 platforms right now. There is nobody who can justify any unarmed human being popped up 42 times. See, that's hate. When they're doing forensics investigations and things like that, MURDER crimes, things like that, they look around at the splatter and they look at vases that may have been violently broken, is what they'll call it. They look around for signs that this was more than just a theft, things like that. They look for signs that, no, whoever did this to these people, they threw a pencil through the wall. They must have hated. This was a hate killing. They threw a pencil through the wall. That person was enraged. And I associate it similar. When you pop somebody up, another human being, 42 times. See, and I want to clear something up. I do understand that people say, you guys, it's white cops only take blacks' lives every so often, but you guys do it every day. Listen, I'm going to be the first one to say this out publicly to you guys. It is different when a white person takes our lives. we usually can somewhat understand why we take each other's lives. I had the wrong colors on. I was in the opposite gang. We usually understand the politics behind it. But what are the politics that justify you popping us up 42 times? You really have no business doing anything to us. If I'm in the hood and I'm banging and I know what's what, yes, I understand why they tapped me out. That's how this goes. Listen, I was walking through a neighborhood that is impoverished. I had diamonds on. Yes, I got ROBBED'd. Yes, I understand all of it. What I don't understand is how you can be paid to protect us, yet you're the ones that black people are fearful of. That's what doesn't make sense. So people try to use logic when they say, oh, here blacks taking each other's life every day, but then they want to complain. Yeah, there is a difference. Yours appears to be coming from a place of hate. Ours is coming from a place of understanding. We take each other's lives. Studies will show you what impoverished areas do. It's like throwing a steak down there in front of 50 pit bulls. Is exactly our circumstances. Our circumstances inspire our outcomes. And black people in America are not only poor, there are systems in place to keep African, multi-million and billion-dollar systems, institutions that have been established with the core goal of sabotaging African Americans advancing past a certain point. And for those of you who want to act like I'm just up here talking, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Yes, you guys hear me get on black women's tops. Yes, you guys hear me get on black men's tops. Yes, you guys hear me condemn black people's behavior. But that does not mean that I am an Anton Daniels or Officer Tatum or any of the Hodge brothers. I see what white people do too. I think anybody, even if you go to Yada Awakening, Ace Metaphor, Derek Jackson, anywhere you go where someone is trying to paint the other individual out to be solely responsible for everything that's taking place, that's BS. There's no scenario where women are treating men bad and men aren't treating women bad too. There's no scenario where men are treating women bad and women aren't treating men bad. It doesn't work like that. If I can go to your page and 100% of the time the men ain't shit, you're being placated to. You're being scammed. Nothing works like that. Nothing works like that. Okay, what was it called? Southern Poverty Law. For those of you who want to say, he's up there being a victim, there are literally institutions that get government funding to suppress the growth of African Americans because everybody knows what would happen if we, listen, a lot of you who look at African Americans, you say, look how bad they're doing. When are they going to get it together? Well, we've been at a war with somebody you've never warred with. Nobody did a thing to us and then left us alone. What is happening to African Americans is a system that is in place that makes sure it happens periodically. You guys familiar with the Southern Poverty Law Center? Let me see. The Southern Poverty Law Center was established to fight racism. They just recently got indicted, right? For taking money that the government gave them to fight racism and giving millions of it to white supremacist groups. Now, let's say I'm being a victim. You're right and I'm wrong. I just asked that you get on Google right now. Southern Poverty Law Center. And that just happened recently. I think people have a problem acknowledging what African Americans go through in America, because if they did tell the truth about it, they'd have to look at us differently. They wouldn't be able to look at us like, ooh, they just want to sit on welfare. No, there's a thing that is done to African Americans in America that if it was applied to any other race of people, very, 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 very soon, you would see very strong characteristics of what you see in the African American community in that community. Do you know how roaches are disposed of when you use acid powders and things like that? Well, the acid powder gets on their wings and things like that, and when they go back to the nest where the other roaches are, some of that acid powder is falling off of them, and it's contaminating their entire environment. This is what is happening to African American people here. Like, have you guys ever wondered why Donald Trump is seeking to remove African American slave history in America? Civil rights thing, shut down the Smithsonian. I don't know if they shut it down, but I think they did shut the Smithsonian down. Donald Trump said because he didn't want the generations of American kids coming up behind them to think America was an evil place. What reason would anybody have to think America is an evil place? And what is it inside of the Smithsonian or African American history that would lead people from other generations to believe that their ancestors were evil? It's called the truth. The transatlantic slave trade wasn't what was bad. Slavery has existed throughout the Christian times. What was bad was what people done to their slaves once they got them here in America. That's what was bad. Most people agree that this is the most heinous atrocity in history. Right? Let me see something. Shout out to my brother, the real Jeremy Hill, up in this situation. My brother. I was checking your show out the other day. See, you got some malfunctions going on over there. You know that happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. Let me see something. I'm going to get to some of these comments, but I think that's why I tell you, this is why I love this show, because we can have white people on this show, we can have black people on this show, and there's not really the racism, the hate, the racism that's taking place. Information is really being divulged, and if it's information that makes you feel uncomfortable, you're free to come on up. I desire for people to prove the information wrong, right? I desire that, but I would suggest that if there are things that you hear me say periodically that in your head, off the top of your head, you can't prove wrong or create any type of concept that will prove it wrong, you might just want to say, you could have a point. I think that is the threshold that most people struggle with, saying, it's got a point, right? What we know is that one of the greatest sins ever committed was people's ability. Listen, terrible things are done to African Americans in America today on a regular basis, every day pretty much. What white America has done, listen, black people have always condemned black parenting for this right here. You be whooping the kid's ass, and then the kid crying, and you sit down and you shut up before I give you something to cry about. No, you did give me something to cry about. You already did that. But now you threaten me to shut up or you're going to give me some more. That's what it is being black in America. Hey, imagine this. Imagine somebody doing things to you on a regular, but when you speak out about them, they call you a victim. That's genius work. That's genius work. That's genius work. Come on up here. Let me see. Because they are, I don't get that. Stop getting emotional. In general, look at home black folk treat white folk on a daily basis. This is a black person that said this. I think I know what he's saying. He said black people are more racist? Listen, I've told you guys before, being black is so painful in America. Some people just, I think they know how to click and snap their mind and go to a place where even as a black person, somehow they can, I think it is a voluntarily choose. I really can't even explain it. He said black people are more racist than white people. We don't see that anywhere in history. You can't name me any instances where black people have been running around perpetrating racism against whites. And I'm not talking about no isolated incidents of a white person getting jumped by, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about following white people, perpetrate intently on doing harm to them because they're white. Are you out of your mind? But that is a hurt black person. That person has experienced too much of what it's like to be black in America. You can hurt so bad to where you will choose to use the hard ER as a black person. You'll have white friends and you'll see something crazy on TV or social media, fucking enter, right? You'll say it just to gain their approval because black people want to be accepted so bad in America. And I get it. I'm not even saying it's a bad thing. Black people have been treated so bad in America to where just to get along with a white person, a black person will say something bad about a black person, thinking it's going to gain him the approval of the white person. Listen, do you know that oftentimes they say that black police officers are worse towards black people than even the white ones? We've all experienced it. The reason people say that is because when there's a black police officer, he goes above and beyond the call of duty, to let his white partner know that he's not showing any favors towards these people he's got pulled over right now just because they're black. I'm telling you, most of us have experienced cops like that. But yet whites don't do that. White cops don't do that because white cops feel already accepted. They're in their country. African Americans suffer from the highest level of low self-esteem that you can imagine. We've been raised to believe that we are not first-class citizens. We know that white people are better than us. We know that. That's not something we think. Now, do you have to feel in your heart that white people are better than you? No. But as we're talking about reality, white people have privileges that we don't have all around us. I don't think anybody can bring up an instance right now where white people don't have advantages over black people. And I'm not talking about being able to accept the sun and things like that. You can't name of anything that is really important to our lives that whites in America don't have an advantage over blacks in. And I'm going to wait. For those of you who got these little getting in your emotions, I'll wait for your response. Let's do it like that. I don't want to argue with you. Let's wait for your response. For those of you who say it's a victim mentality, name me something that is vital to life in America where whites don't have advantages over blacks. You can come on up. You don't have to sit down. If you really stand on business, you can come on up. There's no need in, let me see. Come on up here. There's no need in sniping from the backgrounds. Let's have this conversation if you believe the things you're saying. He said, and blacks have nothing to do with that, huh? Okay, so let's apply that same logic to the white community. Let's apply everything that white Americans have to do with evil in this country to them. How come we don't do that? What's going on? I'm good, man. Tell me how your night is going. All right, so you said blacks have nothing to do with what? What were you talking about? I didn't see anything that you said. Go ahead. I didn't get to read it. Go ahead. Let me.
Basketball, rapping. See, the thing is,
Hold on, brother. Hold on. You said. All right, hold on, brother. Now I want you to think about what you're saying. He said basketball and rapping. Brother, do you know where those people get their paychecks from? They can't play basketball if the white man don't say so.
but they get the paychecks, right?
Brother, if the white man says so.
So how many brothers in the sports industry are receiving checks from the white man?
No, let's talk about how many aren't. The one boy, what's the boy? Somebody tell me the boy's name right now. Because he would not condone homosexuality or whatever. That boy is no longer on the team, man. Yeah. Bro, listen, let me ask you something. Can you name anything that is vital to our survival in America where African Americans, where whites don't have advantage over African Americans? You're talking about, see, they own African American basketball players, brother. They own them. They literally buy them.
Okay, so we're gonna the thing for the black culture. We don't have to eat healthy. We don't have to be healthy. We got the government to fix that. We don't have to spend our money within our own culture, within our own communities.
Brother, every time we built a community to where we could spend our own money in it, they came and burnt it up.
So what that means?
What you listen? So listen. Hold on. So here's what you suggest. Listen, here's what you suggest. You suggest that every time we build a community, they come burn it up and take about 110 lives. Then we go build another one, let them burn that up, take another 110 lives. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying we're supposed to prosper and learn from our mistakes.
Okay, so lay it out to us. Lay it out to us how we should do this.
Huh?
Lay it out to us how we should do this.
So, where is the accountability coming from for black people?
And from what aspect? What do you mean? For being poor? You mean for being poor?
Being poor is a mindset as far as black people. Where is the accountability going?
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Looking on the outside.
You said being poor is a mindset?
Being poor is absolutely a mindset.
Okay, so check this out. I want to give you an example, and I want you to answer me. If being poor is a mindset, but I, due to my mindset, build an entire community, and then someone else comes and destroys it, and I go back to being poor, am I now poor because of my mindset, or am I poor because of something somebody else did?
No, but you're using scenarios, right? Until we try to build the community and it gets destroyed again, so you're going off of experiences that you're going off of things that you never experienced. Oh, because Black Wall Street got burned down.
We're not even talking about Black Wall Street. We're talking about in New Jersey. We're talking about out here in California where they stole an entire beach. Bruce's beach is just now being handed back over to his ancestors. Just now, as of last year. Do you know what the estimation that they said that generational wealth would have passed down in his family? Brother, the reason it's called generational is because it takes time. Now, so here's what I mean when I say it takes time. Imagine if we build a community today. Well, it will take us time to get the grocery stores and all of that going. It will take us time to turn those into tangible things that will trickle down to our families. But now watch this. What if somebody comes, destroys it? The clock is still going the whole time. We haven't even built something else. So then when we do build something else, it's time that we're fighting against. This didn't happen this happened about 60 times, brother. Are you aware of that? Listen, not only that, let's go a step further. Are you aware that there are literal institutions that receive millions of dollars in government funding to make sure that African Americans do not advance past a certain level?
Yes, but listen to what I'm
He admitted it.
No, I understand that. Just like the SPLC, Southern Poverty.
Yes.
Yes, my brother. What people don't understand is we have a billion things on the outside had to point at. It starts within. It starts within.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me speak to you about this really quick. I want to help you understand the magnitude of something. About how old are you?
47.
So maybe you got a whiff of it. Okay. So I want to help you to understand how powerful the magnitude of the 1980s crack epidemic was. It was so powerful that when the opioid epidemic exploded the last 15 years ago in the white community, the laws that dismantled the black community and allowed them to give black people 75 and 80 years and stuff, those laws were still in place. Guess what they did? They undid those laws so that the laws they had in place couldn't do to the white community what it did to the black community. See, you keep making it seem like we're just sitting here twiddling our fingers. Have you ever asked yourself why the NFL is 85% black, yet we do not have one black owner? Have you ever asked yourself that? Have you ever asked yourself why we dominate the music industry, yet we don't have one black major label? How we dominate the basketball industry, yet we don't have one black? Do you think that's an accident? Or do you think no one ever woke up and said, hey, you guys mind if I'm a billionaire, you guys mind if I buy my own team? Or do you think that's intentional? 85% black, yet no blacks on a team.
So that's what I'm saying. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Okay, I'm glad you did that. Now, since you said whose fault is that, I want you to give me the recourse of action that African Americans should take in order to make the commissioners let us into the NFL.
As owners, correct?
Yes, sir.
You're
Yes, sir.
You're already 85% in the NFL. That's the thing. If you cannot beg.
Brother, you running around my question. I asked you, since you said that's our fault, give me the course of action that we should be taking in order to force them to let us have our own teams.
You know what it starts with. It starts with holding on to your own money.
They got the money.
Collective bargaining.
They got the money. They don't want you in there if you have the money.
So what's wrong with not starting your own league? It's enough entertainers. It's enough millionaires.
Okay, brother, we can move on to the CC. And I'm glad that this happened because now you know. I'm glad this happened because now you know that how easy you were making it seem. Even you can't come up with the solution to it.
This is what sells today. Is pointing fingers at everybody else except for yourself.
Okay, so let's do it like this. Is that how America operates? Does America do the same thing? Does America target people and then execute? So what are you talking about?
What do you mean by America?
You said pointing fingers. Does America not point fingers?
In what aspect? As far as what?
In any aspect that you suggest that black Americans are pointing fingers. You're making it seem like what African Americans are doing is exclusive to them. Name a scenario where there's not a culprit that white America is pointing fingers at. Black Americans are the scapegoats for white America. Any bad things that white America do, they have their own media. They have their own Facebook. They have their own Instagram. They have their own TikTok. They can push black dysfunction across these threads endlessly. But how come we're not hearing anything go viral about these kids who can't even pray in church without fearing for their lives? These kids who can't even go to school without fear of... Listen, hold on, but let's go a step further. We see all of the viral videos of African Americans running out of the Dollar General or stealing something. Brother, let's talk about this. Why aren't we seeing these viral videos of these senators and of these predominantly white people in the predominantly white community putting adult penises in 6-year-old people? Let's talk about it, bro. What's worse? What needs talked about worse? An adult putting an adult penis inside of 7 and 10-year-olds?
Okay, so when we talk about the black community, brother, there is this, first of all, a lot of it is due to uneducation.
Okay, now why is our education so poor? Are you aware that we're systematically under attack in that area too? Are you aware that predominantly black areas get less government funding to pay the teachers?
Brother, your parents are the first educators in your life.
The parents have to work.
Your parents
The parents have to work.
And if they
Black
found
people
that
are
your parents
poor.
failed you, excuse me?
Black people are poor. Black people are poor. The parents have to work. And not only that, you keep on talking about the parents are the first teachers like they didn't drop an atom bomb of the most addictive substance that we have ever seen on our parents. Black people's parents aren't parents like they used to be.
A lot of black people didn't indulge in the crack epidemic. Brother.
If they didn't, they were. Listen, I got cousins who they grew up. Listen. If they were not directly impacted, if they were not directly impacted by the 1980s crack epidemic, I guarantee you they were impacted by the culture of it. What was said to be cool within it. I guarantee it. Listen, let me ask you this. Who's running around here promoting music that tells our kids to scam people? Who's responsible for that? Listen, let me ask you this. Do you believe that there should be boy-on-boy sexual activity or girl-on-girl sexual activity in children's cartoons?
Not at all.
Who's responsible for that?
Jews are not white.
They're more closely. No, they have a. Whites and Jews are one of the same, pretty much.
You have to stop mixing that.
Whites and Jews are pretty much one of the same. They are allies. They are allies. Stop it, man. They are allies. They work together every day, brother. They work together every day. And Jews do not view white people as the enemy that they must oppress. Stop it, man.
How many white people own stuff? Who
You said-
owns everything?
You said what?
The white people, are you going to label them white?
What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? The hardware store owners and the people like that who run America? They're white.
White hardware store workers?
Brother, what's your point? Hold on. What's your point, though?
My point is this, my
But
brother.
listen, basically you saying black people are crying.
You asked me what's my point. Let me explain my point. My point is this. I'm from the hood. I'm always in the hood. My family is still in the hood. When I talk to people in these poverty-stricken areas, the mindset is poor.
Do you know that a mind, listen, do you know that a mind can be destroyed? Do you know that a mind can be destroyed?
If you allow it to, yes.
Brother, you on some weird stuff, to be honest,
Nah, I'm
man.
not on no weird
Okay,
stuff.
so let me ask you this. Do you believe, if what I'm saying means no merit, do you believe in psychological warfare? Do you believe in it?
Of course.
Do you believe that the American government has perfected it?
Yes.
So, brother, why are you holding these black people like, boy, you should know better? They're feeding music into our communities that tell us to be losers.
Because, can I explain to you why? Because there's something called a belief in a spiritual higher power. You can blame everything you want to blame on. You're talking to somebody that have witnessed the power of a higher entity, brother, the belief in the faith of a higher power than government. Stop blaming government for all your problems. Your father didn't establish generational wealth for you, nor did your mother, and so on and so on.
Okay, so now let's do it like this. Hold on. You said your father did not establish generation for you, and so did the other ones did, and the other ones did. So let's talk about these communities that were burned down where the fathers did set out to establish that wealth, but it was sabotaged.
So when was the last community burned down, brother?
I know Bruce's Beach just got their beach back 2-3 years ago.
In California?
Yes.
So
Listen, hold on. Hold on. I encourage you to go. It's a good read, actually. I encourage you to go read it. If you do the research deep enough, it will even tell you how, according to how many years they took that beach, it will tell you the wealth that could have been generated and passed down onto their family up until this time. They get none of that back. Listen, hold on. But since you want to go there, why is it that 50% of the exonerations in America come from, and when I say exonerations, I'm talking about he literally didn't do it. The cop had the pop in his pocket and planted it on him. 50% in the African American community. And if what I'm saying is wrong, why do they have bills that are referred to as unfair sentencing guideline acts? They wouldn't have those if they did not already know that there was some unfair sentencing being practiced in the judicial system. But you're blaming that on on blacks. How can you blame a black from getting framed by a cop? How can you blame
I
him?
didn't blame anybody. I said black people need to start holding themselves accountable. That's it.
Okay, so let me ask you this, brother.
There's flaws in every system.
Okay, so listen, let me ask you this. From what you know about me, what percentage of my content would you say is holding black people accountable?
I say about 50.
I say about fucking 95.
No, you do. That's one thing I would give you.
Okay, so my brother, if you know yourself that I hold the black community accountable, then
let me ask you a question, brother. What kind of frames are those?
Cartier.
Cartier, huh? What kind of suit you got on?
Brother, listen. Hold on. Let's do this. I want to stop this right now. Somebody tried this before. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Bro, hold on.
Continue to support you, brother. I'm off this, brother.
All right.
Say what you want to say. I won't.
Okay, here's what I want to say to you. People have come up here before and tried to use me as an example. I'm an isolated incident. God blessed me with a different level of thinking, but I also have a little cousin. He can't leave the bottle alone.
See, but you don't understand that it starts with you, my brother. That's my point. It starts with you.
I agree with that too. I agree. We all are supposed to be doing our part.
Yeah, that's the problem. We can point fingers everywhere else. It starts with yourself. It starts with you.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother, but we do have a system working against us now.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
That don't mean it could prevail. That don't mean it could prevail.
Okay, didn't you say you were a Christian?
I never said that, my brother.
Okay, I apologize. You said something about who's your higher power.
I believe in Christian values, I do.
Okay, so then that means you believe in the Bible when it says that we're going to go through this. It goes into detail.
They creating Bible scenarios today.
But you said they're creating Bible scenarios today, but you just told me that you subscribe to the ways of the Bible.
No, I said I subscribe to understanding that there is a higher power, brother.
I said Christianity, and you said
there's a higher power, the Almighty Creator. That's higher. That's more powerful than government. That's more powerful than any racist, any white person. If you believe that something is supreme over your God, then you need to, reevaluate.
It's not even about that. It's what our God said was going to happen to us. Listen, are you familiar with Listen, let me ask you this, brother, because this is listen, hold on. I wanted to bring this up to you. Are you familiar with the brother Grandmaster Jay? He had the Not Fucking Around Coalition, and during COVID, when the blacks were getting found hung in trees and stuff, he established a militia that was protecting black people. You familiar with that? They were marching from city to city. You know what happened to him that we all knew was going to happen? Listen, who was that? Was that J. Edward Hoover that said there'll never be another black leader or we'll wipe them out? Brother, they accused that man. I can show you videos of how strict he is with the people who are under his command. He preaches, keep your firearm pointed at the ground at all times. Brother, you know how they disbanded that thing 2 years ago? They said that FBI agents were on roofs surveying him, and they said they saw him point his firearm up at them, and they dismantled that whole thing and put him in federal prison, man. Listen, we got a bigger boogeyman working against us than any other group of people. The United States used to be the most powerful country in the world, and black people listen, the United States has dominated other countries, and black people are at war with America. They're infiltrating our daughters and our sons through music, man.
Yeah, no, I would say this though. We are in the times where you have to re-educate yourself, brother. I'm gonna leave you with this. We are in the times where you must. It is a must for you to understand. I tell everybody this all the time. Everybody swear they want to get on these platforms and engage in politics. Everybody, but if you were worth billions of dollars, would you go through what Donald Trump was going through right now?
If I was worth billions, would I break the law? Why would I?
No, listen. I didn't ask you would you break the law. Would you go through everything that he's going through being worth $2.6 billion before he took the presidency?
Well, tell me what you mean when you mean going through. Like being rich? I don't understand what you mean.
So you don't understand nothing that's going on with Donald Trump. You don't see he was almost assassinated. He was charged falsely in the judicial system.
Oh, so you believe he was almost assassinated. You don't believe that was a ploy.
Excuse me?
So you believe Donald Trump was almost assassinated. You don't believe that was a play.
That was the play. Somebody died, and that was the play, right? So that's what you're going to run with?
Wow. Okay, so let me ask you this.
Nobody.
Oh, I love it when people go here. I love it when people go here. Let me ask you this.
Did somebody die?
I know one thing. We have not ever seen too many people where a bullet grazed their earlobe, brother. Do you know how almost impossible that is?
Try it. Try becoming.
Listen, that's fine. That's fine. I'm glad you opened up this door.
Try become president and then go against the establishment and see, brother.
Oh, hold on. Hey, people. He believes Donald Trump is going against the powerful people. You believe he's really cleaning the swamp? Listen. So how come? No. How come we haven't gotten those Epstein files? How come we listen? Name me another president who has ever been accused of being in the Epstein files or touching children. Name one.
Bill Clinton.
He was accused of touching children?
Yes.
No, he wasn't. Not during his presidency. That's just now coming out.
Not during his presidency?
Donald Trump is in the Epstein files reportedly over 1,000 times.
Saying what?
They say touching people. Listen. Hold on. Since you're going to try to bag me into a corner, since you're going to try to bag me into a corner, I'm going to just hit you with this. Why did he settle out of court for those women who were accusing him?
He settled out of court, my brother?
He got caught literally paying Stormy Daniels.
No, he didn't pay Stormy Daniels. His attorney did, sir.
Oh, so hold on. So his attorney broke into his bank account and took unauthorized money, is what you're telling me.
His attorney was in charge of the campaign finance.
But listen, I'm asking you this. Do you believe that attorney stole some of Donald Trump's money and unawares of it, with Donald Trump not being aware of it, he tried to bribe this woman off? You think Donald Trump knew nothing about that, huh?
Brother, if you was really doing your duty.
Brother, I'm just asking you a question that you won't answer, brother.
You asked me a question, I'm
I'm asking you, do you believe that Donald Trump was aware he had money out of his account going to that woman?
So there was a video.
Brother, you're not going to answer me?
They used in that case, my brother.
Brother, I'm asking you a direct question. Do you believe that Donald Trump knew that some money was missing out of his account and he knew it went towards her?
I don't like to get shown up on your platform.
Brother, you won't answer my question. I am asking you, do you believe Donald Trump was aware that some of his money was going to that woman?
Brother, I'm going to tell you the facts of the situation.
Brother, but would you please answer my question before you do that, please? Do you believe Donald Trump was aware that money from his bank account was being redirected to Stormy?
Brother, he was made aware, brother.
Okay, so, hold on. When you say made aware, you mean he didn't authorize it prior. I'm asking you, do you believe that Donald Trump authorized that payment? Brother, do you believe that he authorized that payment?
First of all, this is
Brother, do you believe he authorized that payment?
Say what?
Do you believe Donald Trump authorized that payment? Brother, will you please answer me? Please, I'm asking you, brother. No, listen. Hold on, brother, listen. Do you believe Donald Trump authorized that payment? Brother, I'm asking you to give me a yes or no. Brother, could I please get a yes or no? Brother, I am asking you a question.
During his trial, Michael Cohen recorded their conversation. What part of that you don't understand?
Brother, I am asking you, do you believe he authorized a payment towards her?
That's out there that you can really find out and decide for yourself, bro.
Brother, just let me say this. Okay, you're right. And I apologize for interrupting you. Just let me say this. Do you believe he authorized that payment?
Just explain to you he was made aware.
I asked you, do you believe he authorized that payment?
Brother, let me explain to you. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna answer your question. Stop the hoopla. I'm gonna answer your question. During the trial, the audio between Michael Cohen and Donald Trump, Michael Cohen was already setting up Donald Trump. Do your due diligence.
Oh, so Donald Trump, so Mike and Cohen, so Donald Trump just be giving people access to his bank account.
This is what y'all frauds do. Y'all don't like to let people talk and get their point across.
Brother, you are the worst. Brother, you haven't answered a question for 10 minutes straight. Are you kidding me? Listen, brother, I want the people to see what you're saying. Are you saying that Donald Trump did try to bribe a woman? Do you think that he did that?
Try to bribe her?
Hush money.
Come on, man. Michael Cohen told him, man, y'all took care of that. He called
Brother, would you please answer my question?
Honey, Michael said he took care of that. Honey, Michael said he took care of that. Come on, Michael Cohen, brother. Come on, I'm tired of playing these games with you, fake ass, fake. Y'all just fake, man, and phony. Because the information is out there for you to do your due diligence.
Listen, what are your thoughts? Listen, what are your thoughts about Donald Trump? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about Donald Trump? That's why I don't care about that anymore. I know you're not going to answer. So let me ask you a simple question. What do you think about Donald Trump shutting down the Smithsonian and saying that he wants all of these slave museums with bad things that happen to African Americans shut down? What do you think about that?
Brother, the history is distorted. Everybody's getting the history from the same place.
Brother, I just asked you a really direct and simple question. I asked you, listen, do you agree with him doing that?
I don't have a problem with it. I don't.
So, do you think that history is important at all?
Yes, I do, just to understand where you need to go.
So, if you remove history, how can the generations coming after us understand who they are?
Not removing history is interpreting the way you want to interpret it.
Okay, so that's fine. I have another question for you.
Why are you relying on the Smithsonian Museum?
It's called history.
That's the real question.
It's called education.
You keep looking for somebody to come save you, brother. That isn't.
Okay, so listen. How come? You're right, and I agree with you, brother. You're right. So here's what I believe, because I never understood how people are so infatuated with cars. I believe we should get rid of the Henry Ford Automobile Museum.
Henry Ford, the guy sacrificed a lot of his money.
Brother, are you listening to me? I believe that those museums should be shut down.
Okay, that's what you believe, brother. You got it right.
Okay, so my question is to you: why should the Smithsonian be shut down and Henry Ford's not be shut down?
I can't answer that.
Brother, do you even have an opinion of your own?
You see, that's what I'm saying about you. You're talking about the Smithsonian and...
Do you even have an opinion of your own, brother?
How is that helping black people today?
Okay, how is the Automobile Museum helping black people? Listen, how is the Automobile Museum helping black people? How?
Is that going to help a black person get a job?
I can't hear you.
Is that going to help a black person feed their job? Get a job and feed their job?
Brother, listen to me. I agree with you. And it's likewise, I'm saying, how is an automobile museum?
Yes or no?
It will help me be educated on how I have to move while I'm trying to get a job.
But feeding your family and establishing this generational wealth, that's
Brother, you know you're not really even saying anything. You're not making a lot of sense.
I feel the same way, honestly.
Well, there's a lot of people on 4 different platforms who disagree with
Yeah, I
you.
feel the same way.
Listen, what do you think about, listen, listen, what do you think about Donald Trump trying to give the January 6th rioters $1.7 billion?
Oh, they absolutely deserve it.
So, okay, so listen. What do you think is deserved for that man who spent 19 years in prison because the white woman who made a movie out of the book lied on him and said that he took her for JJ. So if the January 6 rioters who were breaking the law deserve $1 billion, what do these black people who are 50% responsible for overturned exonerations deserve? What do they deserve? Do they all deserve $1.7 billion too?
Say that again.
All of the black men, 50% make up exonerations due to a crime being put on them that they didn't do. If the January 6 rioters deserve $1.7 billion, then what do the black men who were wrongfully in prison deserve?
The black man needs to rely on and deserve everything that he can get that this country has to offer, my brother. I love you, man. Peace and love. I appreciate that.
My man.
I'm going to continue to support you.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
And later on, brother, thank you.
All right, brother. Oh, snap. I ended the entire daggone live, man. Let's go. But we're going to go ahead and get to the show. I'm going to show you guys. You know what? Where are my people who support the show? We have not had no damn cash after we up in this mother. Daxter said, get it together, man. Where my man? Listen, we got to come on now. And this Saturday night, I'm rocking out with y'all. We got to at least meet our nightly $50 a night show goal now. Let's get to it, people. For those of you who don't know, there it is. Cash App, the real Stacey Prince. You know what the rest is. Salute to all of my people on TikTok rocking out with us. You know what it is. On Instagram rocking with us. Listen, this is what I was telling you guys. It's so painful and uncomfortable being black in America. There are some blacks who have volunteered and relinquished being black to avoid how uncomfortable it is, and instead they would rather say things like listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think we should have nobody in power who's even accused. You guys brag about the American judicial system. The American judicial system found Donald Trump guilty on multiple felons, and that is our president right now. Show you I'm not biased. Donald Trump has 2 books that are amazing. Oh, that ain't it. The other one is called Surviving at the Top. This one right here is The Art of the Deal. As you can see, I went through this book like 6 times. Phenomenal. Surviving at the Top, phenomenal. Right? But that doesn't mean I have to blind myself to the ills that he's participating in. I have never been accused of touching kids. It would be hard to establish a timeline for something like that because there would be girls, 16-year-old girls where I'm from who would be like, that don't sound right. He used to tell me to be careful about older men trying to, you know what I mean, before I'm old enough and stuff like that. I have never been, I'm going to be honest, I've never really been accused of a lot of things that I didn't do. Donald Trump is accused of a lot of things. You guys telling me none of it's true? I love this show. Listen, shout out to Jay Moore in this mother effer. Luna J in the building, showing love to the show. My people up in this mother effer. God, dog. That's why I ain't seen. Hold on, ZF. I got these phones switched up. God, dog it. Dog it. The whole time you've been over here, I've been looking at the TikTok, at the Instagram fun. ZF!
Hey, what's up, Stacey?
What's going on, my brother, man? Tell me how you feeling, man.
Give me a glass of scotch.
That boy ought to be a spokesperson for Scotch. He make you want to drink.
It's what I do.
Ah, my brother, man.
I watch baseball and drink scotch.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, shout out to Daxter over here with the us. He said, do what it do, brother. You already know what it is. Shout out to Dante up in this situation. Keep doing your thing, brother Stacy. We're going to keep doing it as long as people like you keep supporting the show. Hey, ZF, man, did you listen to that conversation?
Man, I was trying to come up and you wouldn't let
I
me
had the
come up
phone
and cook,
switched. I had this phone over here, but this is usually the TikTok phone over here.
Man,
I wish you had a called or something. Listen, I wish you had a call through on that one.
Man, because you know I cook, Stacy.
I didn't see it. I couldn't see it.
Everybody always got a simple ass answer to this sports thing, right?
Hey,
So we
ZF.
start
Hey,
our own
ZF.
thing.
Hey, hold it down for a second, ZF. I got to grab this charger.
Yeah. All right, for sure. See, everybody got this simple ass explanation and solution for this sports league thing. Oh, we should just start our own league. White people couldn't even do it. Donald Trump, the current president of the United States, could not take on the NFL and win. What are you talking about? A billionaire couldn't do it. And you talk about, man, see, y'all really just boil shit down way too simplistic and act like that's the solution. No. You know what I mean? And I don't know who that dude said it, because he said it a while ago. That's when I first tried to come up talking about black people are more racist than white people. First of all, black people can't even be racist, because within racism, there's a level of power, there's a power dynamic that black people do not have. You have to be powerful to be racist. You can be bigoted without power, but you cannot be racist without power. That shit is fucking self-explanatory. Y'all are weird. You need to learn the definition of words, you reading motherfuckers. God damn it. Y'all don't know the definition of words, I fucking swear. And y'all just get up here and say any fucking thing. Quit being weirdos. Learn the English language before you start throwing words around. Damn it. About tired of y'all.
Listen, man. Man, my grandmother used to have this saying, man. She used to say, when she would be praying, she would just, out of the blue, she would just be like, and Heavenly Father. She would often say it if she saw something crazy too. She would say, and Heavenly Father, I just thank you for me being in my right mind. Like, bro, can you imagine? Let's check me out, man. ZF, can you imagine a person not having the ability to be a fan of someone's while simultaneously holding them accountable for anything that they might do wrong? So if I'm a fan of yours, I can see no wrong that you do? Bro, that's crazy.
It's a cult. Motherfuckers be in a cult.
I agree, man. I agree, bro.
And I'm not bullshitting. I'm not using that word lightly at all.
I agree 100%.
They are. I'm dead serious. They are in a cult. If you can't sit there and see, look. First of all, I don't know why black people even like Donald Trump. That I'm not saying, and you know me, I was the most critical motherfucker of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Barack Obama.
That's what I'm saying. I like somebody who can be critical just abroad, but not just, this person can't do no wrong in your eyes. That's crazy.
They all do wrong. I look for the wrong first. What are we talking about? That's weird as fuck.
I agree.
That's weird as fuck. Like, if you really think that Donald Trump is doing great things, you was an idiot.
He was a bad person before he even got in office. Listen, I like what he's done for his name and stuff.
He just started a war that this country cannot win.
Yeah. And listen, came in saying he was going to end wars.
Right. But I'm saying it is a literal impossibility for Iran to be successfully invaded. Argue with your mama.
Listen, let me see. Yeah, I agree with that. Listen, I'm about to get back to the show. You got anything for me? I'm about to show these videos.
Okay, yeah. I reiterate. You weirdos need to learn the definition of words before you go blasting them on social media.
I agree.
I'm tired
man.
of you
My
saying
gosh.
black people are racist when black people can't be racist because black people don't have the fucking power to be racist.
Not even just that,
Racism
ZF.
comes-
It's not even in black people nature. Really, all black people want to do is get along and be accepted by white America. Where do you think the
No,
Officer
we just wanna be
Tatum's
left
and
the
stuff
fuck
come
alone. We
from?
don't care if you accept this. Leave us alone.
No, people like Brandon Tatum them. I mean, listen, black people, I agree with what you just said. Black people do want to be accepted, but they want to be accepted as in from the stance of just to be left alone, just to be accepted, be considered as an equal human being. Black people, for the most part, aren't going in white communities, man, terrorizing white people.
Right. And do want to act like the Greenwood district of Tulsa was an isolated incident. There was 100 of those. There were 100 Greenwood districts all over this country, and they all met the same fate. 90%.
Rosewood,
of
the
Lynchings were
MOV
successful
movement.
businessmen.
Rosewood
Right.
got peeled.
90%.
Black Wall Street, Bruce's Beach got took. The MOV movement in New Jersey. Like, this ain't no one-time thing.
Right. But I'm saying there were 100 Greenwood districts all over this country. All met the same fate.
Yeah, America has
90%,
made itself very
90%.
clear.
Right. 90% of all lynchings were successful business owners. You think they just that was random?
ZF, listen to me, man. I want you to hear this in all of its simplicity. It doesn't matter if you agree with me or if you believe some of them were suicides or whatever. Do you understand that we are right now in the midst of 5 African-American lynchings, hangings, and things like that? The one at the school, the little girl that just found. And we're all in this country, you know, being forced to act like we really believe these are suicides, bro.
Right. And the black people are too passive now anyway.
I agree with that.
Quit forgiving people that take the lives of your children.
I agree. When he said blacks were racist, I was like, no, I don't think blacks have ever been racist enough. I don't think you should be racist, but I don't think blacks are too forgiving. I don't think you should be racist, but I do believe listen, at the rate at which blacks get betrayed, history, who was that said that? Was that Muhammad? History has proven to us that it wouldn't be smart to, you know, give that trust like that. Like we really get framed and bad things happen to black people in America.
I'm saying a white female cop walks into another man's apartment while he's eating ice cream and takes his life while he's sitting on the couch and the family and the judge up there hugging her. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I saw that, bro. I'm glad you just brought that up. I thought I was the only one that infuriated like that.
I'll tell you what.
Listen, ZF. That is what I tell you when I say blacks want to be accepted. I'm telling you. If you see the NBA players, bro, when they're walking down their halls and stuff, when they're about to give some shoes away or a jersey away, they make sure that they give it to a white kid so that they can show the world, you know, this is us. We're not like you think. That's what they all do it.
And I'm saying, y'all Negroes is too forgiving because I swear to God, you touch one of mine, you will read about my crash out in every newspaper.
We got one viewer in here on Instagram. Hey, Instagram, those of you who want to see the show, we haven't even started the show yet. We're about to get on the show. That's not enough people in here, so we're going to go ahead and shut this down. But you can come over here to The Real Stacey Prince, rock out with us and see everything. If I'm about ready to go ahead and play this video, brother.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, y'all stop using terms wrong and quit being so motherfucking forgiving about the worst shit that could possibly happen to you.
I agree.
Like, I understand some stuff should be forgiven and whatnot. Some stuff absolutely should not. And I'm tired of you Negroes doing it. Damn
I
it.
agree. I'll holler at you in a minute,
But
brother.
yeah. All right.
Let's go.
Way to wrap up this case. He could have gotten 90 years in prison. He's getting 12 and a half.
He walks into that courtroom like a man expecting a slap on the wrist. 20 years old, clean record, family in the gallery crying on cue, lawyers armed with neuroscience and sympathy.
10-year-old who is accepting responsibility. No amount of time will bring back the victims for their family.
3 years of preparation, all building toward one moment. Walking out of that courthouse with his life more or less intact. He is not worried. Not really. Because in his mind, what happened was a mistake. A terrible, tragic, awful mistake. But a mistake. Then Judge John Kastrenakis opens.
Listen, this is a real case. The kid's name was Noah Thomas Gall, G-A-L-L-A, or L-L-E, G-A-L-L-E. He is a Florida social media creator who had gained attention for posting videos of himself driving at extreme speeds, right? He's also the son of a well-known attorney in that county, right? It was around 2022, right, in Palm Beach, Florida. He was doing an estimated 151 miles per hour. Shout out to Rye over here rocking out with us, supporting the show. I appreciate the love with the $5 cash app. Make sure I respect all of my people who's supporting us. Hey, people, I need you guys on YouTube to hit that thumbs up button. We don't have enough. We don't have enough. Yeah, we don't have enough thumbs up in here. Get this activity. Let people know that we're live and we're popping. But yeah, listen, he was traveling 151 miles per hour and he struck the rear of a Nissan Rogue carrying 6 farm workers who had just got off of work, right? The impact was so heavy that the SUV flipped over. Listen, all 6 of the occupants lost their lives. They were Haitian immigrants and farm workers returning from work. I think they don't have many. No, I can't do that. They don't have many pictures. They only have one picture of them. I don't know why. They have a very minimal social media presence, things like that. But it was Merlane, Julcius, or something like that. Phil Fane, Venice, Remise, Marie. So there's probably 4 women, something like that. It was probably, out of 6 people, it's probably 3 and 3, something like that, I think. What the prosecutor said, they discovered that before the crash, right, this kid frequently recorded himself driving well over 100 miles an hour, posted the videos on TikTok, Instagram, and in one video, probably more, he offered followers money if they guessed how fast he was driving, right? They say some of the videos showed him driving at 182 miles an hour. He ultimately pleaded guilty to 6 counts of vehicular homicide, right? Now, this is where it's going to get tricky. Some of you are going to have mixed feelings about this. Some of you are going to have mixed feelings about it. But there were circumstances inside of the case, right? He was able to avoid going to a jury trial, but the judge accepted a plea bargain of 12 years. Listen, 6 people lost their lives because he was driving at criminal negligent speeds. He got 12 and a half years in prison, 7 years probation, driver's license revoked for 3 years, 800 hours of community service, victim impact paneling, defensive driving course, right? And he's required to post a social media video warning others about driving. But now people are angry, right? Because 6 people lost their lives. And you know where they value those people's lives at? At a little bit over 2 years apiece. Each one of those people who lost their lives, based on his sentence, each of their lives were worth a little bit over 2 years apiece. He didn't have to go to trial. He took a plea deal. Now, a lot of people believe that his family's wealth and his father's status, where they're from, played a role in helping him secure a more favorable outcome, right? But there are people who argue that driving 151 miles per hour showed such extreme recklessness that the punishment should have been much bigger, right? Now, here's something that I'm going to say it because people leave it out. This is the part I think that this is true. This is the part that gets omitted in these viral posts. Now, I think according to the prosecutors, the victims' families didn't oppose the plea bargain, right? Some family members asked that he receive leniency. I think one of them even suggested that his case be dropped, right? The prosecution said, taking those wishes into account, they believed the agreement was appropriate. For 12 people who lost their lives, for 6 people who lost their lives, he got 12 years in prison. Now, I'm not saying that everybody believes that the sentencing was fair or things like that, right? Let's get to this thing.
His mouth. 12 years. One attacked. He is not worried. Not really. Because in his mind, what happened was a mistake. A terrible, tragic, awful mistake. But a mistake. Then Judge John Kastrenakis opens his mouth. 12 years. 180 days in Florida State Prison. Plus 7 years of probation the moment he gets out. Watch Noah Gall's face when those words land. Watch it closely. Because that is not grief. That is not remorse.
Shout out to Robert Rose over here rocking out with
us. That is the exact face of a person who genuinely, completely did not see that coming.
Those of you who do not have our Cash App information, it is at the bottom of the screen. The real Stacy Prince. Okay, he said you didn't have his glasses. Yes, the real Stacy Prince, Stacy, on Cash App or PayPal. Hey, I agree. Look, Robert said, and this surprises you, of course there will be a civil suit, right? You know, I think this. I truly believe this. I really believe that if white America would say, listen, we be on some bullshit sometimes, we don't like to admit it, but we do know that the stuff y'all say y'all go through, we know it's real. I almost think that that's the key to like a lot of stuff, because the offense comes in when people tell us that we're not experiencing the reality that we're experiencing here. It's crazy. It's genius, but it's crazy. Dr. K in the building rocking out with us. I agree. Hey, Daxter said, I agree 100%. I'm tired of all of this. Turn the other cheek. And yeah. I forgive you. That stuff is crazy. People just took your son's life. Hey, Mecadon said, and she has a very good point. Like, we are surprised he got that much time. When I first came across the article, I thought it was going to be talking about he got off scot-free.
6 farm workers went to work one morning and never came home. Today, the man who killed them finds out what that is actually worth. Let's go back to the beginning, because this story does not start with a crash. It starts with a camera. Noah Gall was a teenager in West Delray Beach, Florida. He had a car, he had a phone, and he had an idea that he genuinely thought was entertaining. He would film himself driving at dangerous speeds, post the videos to TikTok, and offer his followers $25 cash if they could guess exactly how fast he was going. Read that again. $25 cash to guess his speed. This was not some stupid impulse on a back road at 2 in the morning. This was a recurring segment, a format, a content series built around driving as fast as possible on public roads with other people on them. He had an audience. He had engagement. He was building something. Noah Gall was not a reckless kid who lost control one afternoon. He was a reckless kid who
Listen,
had
I want to say something. I want to say something to everybody. I swear to you, black people do a lot of the things that you guys, stupid stuff you see us do. But what I'm telling you is black people are a experimented on group of people. Even for the neighborhoods that we're forced to live in. And some of you say, you could get rich and you can move out. I'm talking about redlining. I'm talking about the rate at which black people get approved for housing loans, especially for certain areas. We are all moved over into certain environments. And when you move into a certain environments where most of the people are poor, you're going to have violence. What black people have went through, what African Americans go through in America, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know if it's worse. I know it's bad. It's not as developed in parts of Africa and Haiti, but man, blacks are compiled in areas where I'm almost pretty certain my life will be taken in a year. Most blacks don't think they're going to make it till 21. I'm not going to say most, but a significant portion. What it is like to be black is no different than to understand being experimented on. Do you know what it's like for me, Stacey Prince, to turn on the thing and see another black girl hanging from a tree? You have to fight yourself to not get in a different mindset. And then you wonder why when we see police officers get their lives taken, we're almost ready to throw a party. You don't represent us. African Americans are the only demographic of people in America who live in a country that does not love them and will not protect them. And if you disagree with me, anybody, feel free. Name me something that America has done to show African Americans we love you and we will protect you. Can you imagine living? Listen, I was riding my bicycle one time and it hit me. Actually, that's what it was. A white guy drove by with the American flag hanging out of his truck bed. And I don't know why I went deep in on it. And as I got to thinking, by the time I got where I was going, I had a full show already written out in my head. I believe that these people who we see with these American flags on their trucks, they have every reason to be proud to be an American. They enjoy privilege as a white American. When they go in courtrooms, they stand a favorable chance of maybe getting not found guilty, even if they did it. But because the law says let him out on this loophole right here, they have every reason to love America, to feel proud to be an American. All of the advantages and the benefits. Even to just walk down the street as a white man, there's privilege associated with that by itself. You will not be looked at and stereotyped a certain way that other race would. When you walk in, listen, there was that one police officer who just recently lost his life for treating the white person with too much privilege. If he had have treated that person he pulled over like they treat blacks, he would be here to this day. He would be here to this day. He gave the person in the car ample enough time to look, oh, well, you mind if I get it's in my duffel bag. You mind if I get my license out of here? And he's letting him rummage all around. They wouldn't have let a black person do that. And if he had have treated that white guy like a black person, that cop would be here today. He gave that guy ample time to unzip the book bag, find it out from up under the seat, dig in it, It's not fun being black in America. It's not fun. I hurt deep every time I see that there's a black kid hanging from a tree on his college campus. I hurt every time there's a 17-year-old black girl who a white person has chopped their body up in several pieces. There's no way in the world Trayvon Martin is not supposed to be here right now. If you listen to the tape recording, they tell him, stop following him. We will handle that. And he didn't. The reason that a lot of people in white America cannot admit and acknowledge what black people go through as being black is because they would be forced to empathize and sympathize with us. They would be forced to take some of the things that we do in consideration. We had bombs dropped on us. I watched the 1980s crack epidemic unfold, and it was like, I think people like me got the best bird's eye view of it because I saw it when my town still had Miss Smith was the librarian. This was our superintendent. Like, I come from somewhere like Mayberry, right? Where it's a town that's put intact. When the 1980s crack epidemic landed where I'm from, we saw it undo every civilized thing that we knew about. Where I was from, we were working, taking trash out and things like that to get chores and things like that. When the boys from Chicago came where I'm from and they started peddling that thing, it wasn't the same. We used to get respect. High schoolers used to get respect off of their parents' accomplishments. Like, you know, if I'm popular, the rumor probably is, no, his parents have money. They just added a whole new section onto their house, things like that. Well, when that substance came to where I'm from, everything flipped upside down. Kids didn't need to do chores anymore for allowances because these guys from Chicago have showed me how to slang this thing. Worst case scenario, they showed me how to pedal tree off. So now you have a dynamic where the kids aren't acting like kids anymore. Their moms are actually borrowing money from her kids because she knows her boy is out there. She knows what he's doing. She knows, she's heard about it. But that boy just made my paycheck. A month of my paycheck. He just made it in a week. It unraveled us. Listen, that substance was so addictive. Mothers were pawning their daughters off at the age of 10 to dealers for an hour, giving them a certain amount of time to spend with the daughter. You know how we know that they know what they were doing? Because the opioid epidemic hit the white community around 15 years ago. And what they did to make sure that the laws that were used to destroy black community, they undid those laws so that the laws couldn't do to their community what they did to the black community. Black women were getting 50 years in prison, things like that, for a substance that's just so small. We were unraveled. Listen, the people who have touched that thing, I know people who are my mom's age who have been smoking that substance for 50 damn years. Had good jobs, sold everything that they owned, used to rent their cars out by the hour to local dealers. That thing unraveled the entire black community. And then on top of that, you want to throw the music, how they weaponize music against us. They have our daughters, by the time they're 5 years old, listening to Sexy Red, things like that, but they won't let that stuff happen in the white community. They won't create any white superstars who are promoting the detriment of the white community. You'll never see it. If whites wanted to promote taking each other's lives, the record labels wouldn't even greenlight the projects. If white promoters, if white people wanted to promote being hoes and practicing degeneracy and sleeping with anybody you want to in the white community, they wouldn't get a deal. They wouldn't give them a deal. But they look for those people in the black community. Did you guys know that these projects have to be greenlit by the A&Rs before Kodak Black's album could be released? And if it's not grimy enough and grungy enough, they'll shelf it. So basically, if you don't put enough dysfunctional stuff in your music, they won't greenlight it and you won't get money. And black people are poor. Some people would say, well, why are black people saying these things that they're saying? Some of these black artists that you guys aren't aware of, they come from environments that are so gruesome to where some of them might have already had hits on them, where somebody, a bona fide, somebody who has already taken people off the planet before, word is out on the street that he's looking for NBA YoungBoy. That's not legitimate. I'm just making an example. Imagine somebody who is a bona fide life taker. NBA YoungBoy is hearing, man, you know they say such and such, man, as soon as he see you, it's on site. But then Sony gets a hold of some of NBA's YoungBoy's music from YouTube, and they make him a deal, $1 million, enough to relocate your home family, get yourself out of this situation where this guy wants to take your life. He's going to sign it. He almost doesn't care what the terms are. It's a shot at a new life. We're poor, so we keep having to sell our souls just to get a crumb or a noogie. How LeBron James, how he had to kind of speak out against the statements that Kyrie Irving made. If we want to continue doing well, we have to kind of do what they say do. Look at Colin Kaepernick. It's insane. The world does us like this in front of everybody, but then in white America, they say you guys are victims. We're not victims. Well, actually, we are victims. Per the dictionary, and it hasn't stopped. Our infliction, what you guys are seeing in black people, African Americans have been at war with America since we came out of slavery. When I say at war, I'm talking about dropping bombs dropping fire on buildings, on cities. I'm talking about judges giving black people 40 years in prison for getting caught with something the size of a pellet or a BB. But then white people get caught with that same substance and they get probation. At a 15 to 30% increased rate, they get that. You think we're not, the knowledge of our circumstances alone is enough to warrant dysfunction in us. Yes, we're messed up. Yes, we're messed up. You are not real life black and proud to be black in America, and you do not suffer from psychological damage and dysfunction. It is impossible. I don't care if you live in Beverly Hills. If you are black, you have been traumatized at high levels. The reason that I don't promote black and white relationships is because the past is too sticky. What about when me and my woman are sitting here on the couch, lovey-dovey, and then we see George Floyd come across the screen and I get pissed off. Now I got to convince her to understand my point of views and things like that. We hurt when we see that shit. You think it doesn't affect black people when we hear that, no, this boy just died. No one knows how this boy died. No one has a clue how he died. How can that even exist? How can there be a situation where, like me and all my homeboys right now, if somebody passed where I'm from, Lord forbid, I'm going to know the details of what happened all the way in LA. Listen, there's the other boy that went on the boating trip with his friends. He didn't make it. You guys think that doesn't affect us? When we see people the same color as us getting tortured and lynched? We love each other, contrary to what you believe. We don't always act like it, but I love black people. They are my family. So when I see one of them get 80 years in prison for something white people are getting probation and house arrest for, yes, it affects me psychologically. And it will take me some time to regroup and get myself together. May take me some months of knowing my existence in America. I know that me and white people are not on the same footing. White people have a significant advantage over me, which is why I compete as hard as I do. I have to compete as hard as I do, or good fortune won't come. People like to associate black people as victims. I think black people should be giving fucking plaques for knowing their circumstances and could, like, and still continuing on this path. Do you know that there are a lot of black people who know for a fact they will never see $5,000 cash? I can barely read. I've often said that we are guilty of leaving our gangbanger brothers and sisters in those environments that we worked hard to get ourselves out of those environments. Yet we left our brothers and sisters in them. Now, I'm not saying that go back and risk your life like Nipsey Hussle did things that, but we must have empathy. They are in the jungle. They are in the jungle. Then when we see them do something crazy, I'm guilty too. We talk about what they do, but a thing has been done to black people, man. Look at Officer Tatum. Look at the Hodge twins. It's so painful and unpleasant being black in America that some people opt out of the whole assignment and say, hey, maybe if I say bad things about black people, white people will look at me like I'm one of them. Maybe they'll accept me. Because being black in America, almost everything that you do gets scrutinized. You got to perform at this level. They burn up your cities and your towns and then say, why haven't you guys generated generational wealth yet? There's a lot that comes with this stuff. I know for a fact, listen, most black people know. I'm not going for it, but I'll say most black people know that in society, if a white woman walks up and slaps you, probably think about that before you react. You think we don't know this? You thought about all of these NFL players, boys who were about to get $50 million contracts and things like that coming from Poly High School and things like that. Then it took a white woman to say he did this and this and that. And now, although she did come back 10 years later and then they let him out of prison, his opportunity is gone. He will never embark upon another opportunity to make that type of money. And then you tell us to get over it. Yeah. Yep, I agree. Listen, the brother Robert said, ain't no way we love each other. The way we gravitate towards the music. Now they have stole our women. We're cooked. What's the play? What we talking about, bro? You owe me a public conversation. I respect that. He said, get with me. Holla at me. Volume just came back. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. What happened? And I'm going to hold African American men accountable too. African American men, they aren't as diligent and they don't mobilize like African American women do. African American women, even though we don't often agree with the things that they mobilize behind, they will mobilize. Black men don't. Listen, you know what my brother Black Guru told me one day? We had a pretty deep conversation, right? He told me, Brother Stacy, listen, that, the way a lot of these other podcasts was able to level up, you're not going to be able to level up as financially as, even though your show, Guru told me this, he said, even though your show is hot as it is, he said, because you're dealing with black people oftentimes, you're trying to teach black men, black women, he said, black people don't financially support shows like ours. Versus when you go to Anton Daniels and these platforms that have predominantly white audiences and things like that, they're accruing the type of finances that are required to back certain concepts and ideas that they have to get what they want to get in a better positioning. People who want to get the black community in better ships, we are the ones who don't really, we have to use money that come from other businesses of ours, just dump it into things like that. And that's an issue. That's the issue. You really can't even talk about making moves without talking about money. Shout out to my girl Villain over here rocking out with us. Show ASS up here. Yeah. I think what's offensive is black people are forced in America to pretend like this isn't true. We know we've already been slated that where if we say anything, if we complain about bad treatment that we receive, you'll get hit with the victim mentality. So it's amazing that a group of people have found a way to afflict another people, but shame the afflicted group of people when they speak out about being afflicted. It's diabolical.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Yeah, I agree with that, DJ. I agree with that too. Shout out to my brother AJ in the building. My girl. Shout out to my girl Reed rocking out with us. You come on up here, Monica. Come talk to me. Listen, shout out to Rose over here with the $25 cash app. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. Let's get back to it. I had to get that off my chest. Yes, you guys see us doing some messed up stuff, but the things that have been done to African Americans in America, if you did that in the white community, you would see worse behavior than what you see in the white community. I mean, in the black community. You'd see worse. Because think about it. We all know that a lot of the stupid stuff that you see black people do, even the taking each other's lives, a lot of that is dysfunction due to what the things that were done to us. You can't come out okay being reduced to the circumstances we were reduced to. You can't really come out okay. I think we all know my channel is 95% holding black people accountable. But we have an engine that is working against us, an engine that is funded by billions of dollars. The reason that I say, if you put the things that have been done to African Americans, if you went out to Beverly Hills and you did that, they would act worse than what you see African Americans. You know why? Because the things that have been done to African Americans haven't been done to them. And they're still messing with these kids and stuff. They're still popping these schools up. What is your excuse? What is your trauma that is leading you to do that? Everybody in the world knows. Everybody understands why black people's behavior is dysfunctional. Everybody knows. But now what excuse do you have to be mimicking our broken behavior? But you don't come from a history of being oppressed to a state of breakage. If you haven't had these things happen to you, what is your excuse for doing these diabolical things you're doing? Shout out to Dr. K. Been rocking with me for 4 years. My girl. But listen, let's get back to the show. Let's go.
Turned losing control into a hobby. and was monetizing it for followers. On the day
There she goes.
I feel like I haven't seen you for a minute.
You haven't seen me for a minute. Where you been?
Oh, I just been enjoying life.
You been dating?
I've been putting myself out there.
He's still not getting none until you get married?
Yep.
Oh my God. He said he can't get none until we get married. So what are you doing to get that type of individual? You know you're going to have to actually be very strategic about that, right? Like he's going to have to be the caliber of person who that's already the timing he's on.
Right. I've been focusing on me. I've been putting myself at the right places. You know, yeah, fixing like the things that I need to fix about myself.
Oh yeah? You mean like you slanging dope on the side and ain't telling nobody?
No, I'm not like that.
You ain't about that life?
I don't know. I think I heard about it, but I never got
You
involved.
you ain't doing no pimping on the side, are you?
No.
All right. So you say it's just some minor things you got to work on about yourself.
I think most likely is like the finance.
But see, that's why two heads are better than one. That's what I teach. Like I teach that.
Yeah.
Right? To me it's the shortcut to life. I believe
But
it is
like,
the shortcut to life.
here's the thing too. It's like I don't like, because I know you're a very honest person, and I always like get women telling me that, not just women, but I think some men too. Not recently, but not just recently, but it just came across my mind where a lot of the time I have heard people saying, "Oh, you don't know how to talk to a man." But like when I'm talking to a man, you know, he's asking questions, I'm asking questions too. I think it's fine to me, but like other people always say that, "Oh, you have to know how to talk to a man." And I'm like, having a normal conversation is not talking to a man. Like, do you have to have
I think you got the big part of it locked down. Your voice is already sweet and feminine. That like men aren't as picky as you are. We not. Just remind me that you're the opposite sex and I'll handle the rest. But if your energy is that equal of mine, you kind of turning me off. Now I do want some booty right now, so I'll bust you down. But that's about it.
Yeah.
And then people have the nerve to be walking around here shocked that they're not getting the results that they want.
And you know what I have learned is I'm not just putting myself only in like the Black community. I have put myself in the Latin community.
Okay.
I actually like it.
Right.
Like, I really do.
I support that.
I've been going to like the Latin like dance like the dance lesson, being around them, picking up Spanish and stuff. The Latin women are very different than.
They're cultured.
Yes, they're very different than Black.
Look, y'all got this woman scared to say the word Black.
Because, and here's the
Don't
thing.
come for me, y'all.
Here's the thing too. I'm Latin myself, and it's very easy for me to like fit in with them. And when they see me, they always think I am Dominican or Cuban. Which I'm half Dominican and stuff, but it's like different. Like their culture is very structured. So when I walk in their room, they're not feeling like, "Oh, she's here to take my spot."
What type of man are you looking for? Give me the specifics. What are the most important things he must have? Listen, people, we got a single lady up here. Hey, you already know what it is.
I want him to be consistent with communication. I want him to be financially secure. I want him to be emotionally healthy and spiritually healthy. I do want him to have a good, like, from a good family, like a good relationship with his family.
All right, now you starting to ask for too much now. You starting to sound like a grocery list. Listen, here's the simplest way to a good relationship. Don't ask for much. Because the more that you ask for, the more opportunity for somebody to fail. That's really true. Listen, if you can just pick a couple of things and overlook the other, you can live a lifetime with a person. Yeah. But we have all of these things that we want. You can listen to some of the women when they come up here. You can just listen. Oftentimes I have to tell them, do you know it sounds like you just described Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
And so when that person fails in a couple of those areas, it turns you off. And that's an issue. Versus if you go into it just saying, I want me a decent human being.
I actually do like the Latin because they're very family, like,
right.
Closeness, you know? Like I've been to multiple, like, their environment and stuff. They're very not grabbing. They just take you in as a family. They don't make you feel excluded out.
Well, they're family orientated people.
Yeah,
they're a tight knit group.
I like that, and I really, really like that. Yeah.
All right, you got any questions for me before I go?
Yes, my thing is, I am tired of them saying I don't know how to talk. How would you?
Who's telling you that? Men or women or friends?
Mostly men.
Are you reading too much into something? There's people over here or even on YouTube who have said they like your pleasantness.
Thank you. But I've been going through a lot at work, though.
And you've been taking it out on people?
No. Women at my job are just very jealous of me.
I mean, that's what's going on a lot. That's why you see these women starting these podcasts, because what you're seeing, especially in the black community, it's nuts in the black community. All of these people who are damaged goods starting podcasts, teaching other women how to have successful relationships, even though they can't obtain one themselves. So really, it's just, I've come to understand that these women have found a way to voice their issues as a method of easing the pain. That's what I believe.
Yeah. And I have gotten to the point where I have bypassed the look of a man. I want somebody that can hold a nice conversation, that is, because, like, I have went for, like, really pretty boys, and the pretty boys get me in trouble. So I'm not looking at...
You really think that a man, you really think that you're not having sex till you get married? You really believe that?
Yeah, I do.
Let me see, where are we going to get her man from? Let me see. Where's the Bible at?
I really like the Latin culture, though, to be honest.
Even in the Latin culture, you're going to be a little bit of a...
Bang, 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 daddy, bang, 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 daddy, bang.
All right, I got to get back to the show.
Okay.
I'm going to probably plug you up with somebody. Tell me how old you are.
I just turned 30.
How many kids live with you? 2?
I got 1. He's about to be 11.
Okay.
And I'm good with that one. Like,
You good?
I'm not.
You good without what?
I'm good with that one. I'm not trying to have a lot of kids.
Oh, you said you're good with that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say nothing about a lot. What if that man come into your life and he want 1 kid?
I'm fine with that, but I'm not gonna have 3, 4, 5 kids.
I can go for that. I don't even advise married women to have more than 3 kids.
Yes.
The only reason I say that is because, listen.
You have to enjoy your life
Listen,
in marriage.
if you have 3 children and that marriage don't work out, it's over for you. It's over. Those kids matter. 3 kids?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what type of man what it would take for a man to accept that? He had to already be a broken soul. Probably doesn't get to touch women very often. You won't even like him. But he'll be the only one willing to accept your conditions. That's about it.
Now, this guy say get more kids than gold tellers. What?
Hey, get up out of there. Get up out of there.
Okay.
All right, let me get back to the show. I'm going to send somebody your way probably if I come across it.
All right, bye.
All right, sweetie. She's so pretty. I was just saying that she's lovely. Luna J said she seems nice. Well, is she nice enough to get a date? Is she nice enough for one of y'all to slide y'all's contact info in my thing and say, I'm interested in her? Other than that, don't be selling her wolf tickets now. Hey, you know what, Mecca? I had never thought about that. That is a good observation. I don't want a show like that. I don't want to highlight all of the negative moments and things like that. I prefer, did you guys know this? I'm not a fan of debating. I don't like debating. I think it's disingenuous. I think the moment that you come with your mind already set that this is a debate, you have incentives to push a point even if you don't believe it, just to win the argument. I'm not with that. Me, I prefer discussions to where there's never any yelling. I prefer discussions to where one of us is like, I've never looked at it like that. And I'm probably going to start practicing that and building on that. These shows that you guys see where we got people who appear to have escaped from insane asylums with their Looney Tune beliefs and things like that, I don't desire that. Those conversations turn out like that. When you realize you're talking to a 50-year-old, 9-year-old. That's how this stuff happens. I hope you guys don't think that I look for the most dysfunctional people so we can go viral. No, I prefer all those conversations go smooth. They just typically don't. Nah, Lioness, I don't like debates, I said. Did you hear what the hell I said, woman?
Say good night to the bad guy.
That was the wrong one.
Don't you ever talk to me like that again. You hear me? Huh?
I want to come to conclusions and to work together with people with resources to build great things. That's what I desire. I don't want to argue with someone who comes from Cabrini Brings projects. I don't want to argue with someone or debate with someone who's got on a hair bonnet and a spear hidden in their sock. No. I'm going to get out of that. Yeah, yeah. But let's go.
Ended, he was behind the wheel in an audience. He had engagement. He was building something. Noah Gall was not a reckless kid who lost control one afternoon. He was a reckless kid who had turned losing control into a hobby and was monetizing it for followers. On the day everything ended, he was behind the wheel in Palm Beach County doing exactly what he always did, pushing the speed, not thinking about what was ahead of him, because he never had to before. Except this time, there was a van in his path. A van carrying migrant farm workers on their way to a job in the fields, men who had woken up before sunrise, men with families, men who had absolutely nothing to do with Noah Gall or his TikTok account. Crash killed all 6 of them.
To wipe out 6 people? 6 lives get removed from this planet? What number of people were impacted by their lives being lost? And get 12 years in prison? I just don't believe that there's anybody on here who believes if he was black, he would have gotten any empathy. That boy might be looking at the chamber.
6 people, 1 van, 1 $25 speed challenge. Noah Gall was 17 years old when it happened. He was charged with 6 counts of vehicular homicide, and for the next 3 years, the most important project of his life became convincing a judge that he deserved mercy.
But it is appropriate for the youth to remain in secure detention with the 21st day.
Now, I can't say that this was the judge. I don't know if this is a different club. I don't know. I don't want to. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I don't want to endorse that because I'm not 100% sure.
April 27th. The court finds that the Department of Juvenile Justice has appropriate procedures in place.
His legal team was not incompetent. They built a real defense. Noah was a minor at the time of the crash, 17 years old. His brain was still developing. Science says the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for impulse control and understanding consequences, does not finish forming until the mid-20s. He could not have fully understood what he was doing. He had no prior criminal record, not so much as a speeding ticket on paper. He was not a violent person. He was not a predator. He was a teenager who made a catastrophic error in judgment on one afternoon and had spent 3 years living with the horror of it. His family took that stand and told the court who their son really was. A good kid. A remorseful kid.
This boy, listen, took 6 lives off the planet and got 12 years. That's deep. That is deep. That man killed 12 people, 6 people, and got 12 years in prison. And like somebody down there said earlier, he'll be up for parole before the time he gets out. He'll be up for parole way before that.
A kid who deserved a future. And for a moment, it felt like it was working. Then the prosecution stood up, and they did not bring character witnesses. They brought the TikTok videos.
And in cases like this, anytime we have sufficient evidence that someone has broken the law, we will prosecute them. You can't have a safe community without having safe streets. And we intend to hold defendants in cases like this accountable for their actions.
I used to, listen, before he lost his life, about 2-3 weeks, my people would tell you, my day ones and my stay ones would tell you, about 3 weeks before Charlie Kirk lost his life, I was in the process. I was looking for where he was going to be at the next one. The next one he's going to be at in LA, I was going to show up. Like it always, I don't know. I get caught sometime trying to rationalize, like, could there really even be one person in America, even one, who doesn't know for a fact that blacks don't have the same rights as whites do in America? So I never understood why Charlie Kirk, like, but these were college kids too that were letting him get away with that question that he crafted to be difficult to answer. Name something that a white person could do that a black person can't, right? He worded it like that so that you wouldn't directly start pointing at the things that you have a less likelihood of success in America than whites do. Even the judicial system. If I go into the courtroom, I'm not going to have the same outcome as a white person for the same crime with the same criminal background. Not going to have it. We all know that. You know what I mean? So when you see things, like there was a couple of people down here, when they heard that this white teen took 6 lives and only got 12 years, matter of fact, it was Mecca Dawn. She said, I'm surprised he got that. Like, I was surprised too. When I came across this, I was under the premise that he probably got it. That's why I was going to do the show. I was under the premise, like, I wouldn't have been shocked if he had got probation. It was just black people whose life he took. I really do. I really do want to know. I wish I could make them take a polygraph test. I want to know, do white people, I think you got to be lying or just being a-holes sometimes. Do white people really think that blacks are exaggerating about their experience in America? Do white people really think, if I could do it, you could do it? Yeah, it's true. I can pull off anything that I want, but it won't be at the same odds. I will be faced with some disadvantages that you will not. They're already in place. Mechanisms are already in place. It's nothing that needs built. These entities and institutions are getting millions and billions of dollars just to thwart certain progresses of the African American community. ChatGPT, Grok, they won't even lie to you about it. They'll give you a list of institutions and mechanisms that have been in place to keep the African American community from advancing. Watch, I'll do it now. I'll do it in front of you. Are there institutes and systems in place in America that are receiving funding, and these institutions and systems are designed to thwart the advancement or progress of the African American community? Look what it said. Look, it said, under modern federal law, public institutions and government-funded systems are legally prohibited from explicitly operating to discriminate against or suppress African Americans. However, listen, I've done this before. I've done it before. ChatGPT, these major AI platforms, they will give you a list of the institutions that are funded, and they are systems that make things more difficult. Listen, I think who was just announced, I think there's some research that was just done that said America has lost out on a couple of $1 trillion due to practicing systematic racism, I think against blacks. Yeah. Imagine if they allowed us to earn. Imagine if we were on an evil platform. That would be more blacks with more jobs. That would be more of us paying taxes to the government. But they can't do that, because if black people ever get organized, we will be a force. We're already the most influential group of people on the entire planet, and that's only 13%. I didn't say Haitians. I didn't say Africans, right? African Americans are the most influential group of people on the entire planet at 13%. We have to be special. There's no getting around that. There's no getting around that. We are 13% of a country, and we are the most influential group of people on the entire planet. If we say eating boogers is the new cool thing, you can best believe you'll see some of the most influential white, Asian, brown people eating boogers. That's why we must be suppressed. Because if even 10, 15,000 African Americans ever get organized and follow one command and one belief, shit, we will have our own NBA. We will have our own NFL. And from there, we'll be unstoppable. We'll practice and promote our own music. We'll have a panel that keeps us in line and addresses those of us who are doing ill in the black community. You can tell I've thought this all throughout, don't you? Yeah, I have thought it throughout. I even have a plan. Oh, let me read that. Al-Rahim said, however, yeah. However, examining this question through the lens of history, history says, yes, There are our history dictates it. We can name the institutions, even Planned Parenthood and things like that. However, examining this question through the lens of history, policy research, and economics reveals a distinction between explicit legal mandates and systematic structures. They're there. They're there. Listen, it'll give you a list. Hey, I'm trying to get back to the show with you guys. It'll give you a list of the things that were implemented to thwart the African American community. Number one, historical precedent explicitly funded systems of suppression. Historically, federal, state, and local governments directly funded policies, agencies, and legal frameworks designed to limit the political, economic, and social advancement of the African American community. Oh, let's make sure that this is out there. This is white people's Gemini, white people's ChatGPT. I'm not fudging any numbers. They're acknowledging this. Jim Crow legislation and enforcement. Public tax dollars funded segregation infrastructure, separate and inferior school systems, and enforcement mechanisms designed to maintain racial subjugation. Federal redlining. In 1930s, listen, even the African Americans who fought in the wars and things like that, we weren't allowed the home loans that other soldiers were allowed in order to start establishing something to pass down to their lineage. We weren't given any of those things. The things that affected us in a timely manner. Like, you can't tell us, man, well, here, take this money, go build something. No, this doesn't work like that. Some things take decades to be established. Even if we were to build a city today, it would take decades for us to establish it. Listen, in the 1930s, the federally funded Homeowners Loan Corporation and the Federal Housing Administration drew literal red lines around black neighborhoods on maps, refusing to insure mortgages in those areas while subsidizing white suburban development. The policy stripped generations of black families of primary avenues of wealth accumulation, which is typically home ownership. Land grant educational disparities. Under the Second Morrill Act of 1890, states established black land grant universities, but state legislators systematically underfunded these institutions relative to white land grant universities for decades. While modern institutions do not state a mission towards to thwart the black advancement, social scientists and economists highlight several funded structures whose design or funding inequities produce disparate outcomes. State underfunding of HBCUs. I don't give a damn about HBCUs anyway. Property tax-based school funding. But it just goes on and on. Listen, the criminal justice and mass incarceration, revenue generating municipal court systems, private prison contracts, cash bail systems, and aggressive policing practices in marginalized neighborhoods extract financial resources from low-income black communities and create long-term barriers to implement and voting rights. So, I mean, you can think that I'm just up here talking if you want to, but these are facts. And I think what's really disrespectful is when people, if we say something like this, people will be like, that's the victim mentality. No, motherfucker, that's Google. Lord Jehovah, please forgive me. That was a bad curse word. And a lot played that against each other and give up most respect to other groups. Insane to me. Oh, she said a lot played that against it. Yeah. Okay, okay. I agree with everything she said. Yeah. Lioness like the buck against me, but I agree with a lot of what she was saying. We do got to learn how to love each other, man, because without love is like an autopilot. It's like love is an automated way of people treating each other decently. When you really love people, you don't really want to see no harm come to them, and if you can, you'll help them. We don't have love going on in the black community.
And seek justice for
They showed the court what this actually was. Not one bad afternoon, not one lapse in judgment on an otherwise clean record. The documented, repeated, publicly posted pattern of choosing speed over every other human being sharing the road with him.
In the back, when he crashed into the vehicle, again, there was no brake applied. Our investigation shows he was traveling 151 miles an hour. It struck the vehicle from the back, which caused the vehicle to rotate. And then there were ejections on scene. Like I said, 5 of the 6 were already pronounced on scene.
6 families, 6 men who are never coming back. The victims' families stood in that courtroom and did something that no evidence presentation, no legal argument, and no expert witness can replicate. They made those 6 men real. They were not statistics. One by one, their families told the court what had been stolen. The courtroom did not make a sound. And then, everyone turned to face Judge Kastrenakis. The judge does not rush. He considers everything: the age, the record, the science about adolescent brains, the character witnesses, the remorse. And then he considers...
Now, see, here's the issue that African Americans have. You know how they are trying to establish that his brain, based on his age, his brain wasn't fully developed yet and things like that? Doesn't matter. It doesn't get any airplay in the black community. That is never a consideration in the black community. The young black boys have been getting, what do they call it? Tried as an adult, maybe since I've been alive.
TikTok videos, the cash prizes, the 6 body bags. 12 years, 180 days, 7 years probation. There it is. That is not a face making peace with a hard truth. That is a face that built an entire internal reality around a different outcome and is watching it shatter in real time.
Why is this a fair resolution to this case?
We have a 17-year-old who is accepting responsibility. No amount of time will bring back the victims.
Al-Rahim says 150 miles per hour with no regards for anyone else's lives. The only thing that mattered was the views he was... We talking about 6 lives gone. That's like a small... That's less sound like casualties from like a huge gang uprising or something. 6... It's a lot of life lost.
For their families. The victims all have written to us that they do not object to this. Some of them didn't even want him to go to jail at all. One wanted us to drop the case entirely.
This is courtroom verdict. Was 12 years fair, or did Noah Gall get exactly?
Hey, y'all got my girl going down there. Let me see what y'all talking about. Who Mecca down there clashing swords with? Look like I miss a good back and forth. Okay, got da. Yep. I like that. Anthony. Said they're in fear of losing control of the system they created to keep power in their hands. That's deep. That's really deep. Because you're seeing white people on social media saying it out loud. It's actually causing a lot of violence. What Mecca down there doing? Mecca got her one pinned up against the wall down there. Right, 100%. And that's what I'm saying. We're not surprised by this stuff. Oh, right. That's a good point too, Mystery. That's actually a good point. No, that was in Florida. So I don't know how the laws in Florida. Yeah, there are certain counties that, they'll give you day for day. If you get sentenced to 10 years, you only got to do 5 or something like that. Yeah, you take that into consideration too. You know what I think is very unfortunate? Like, black people have survived a lot that is actually commend worthy. But the things that we have overcome, when we talk about them in any way at all, we get called victims. That stuff is crazy to me. It is something to be proud of, to have overcome so much of what fiery darts are being aimed at you. And some of us have had closer experiences than others. To find a way to create your sweet spot in America as a black person, that's dope. That's worthy of a pat on the back. To find a way to exist here in America, your own little nice house, things like that, neighbors you don't have to feel funny being around and things like that, that's the sweet spot. Especially consider where a lot of you probably came from, the environment-wise. I was about to shut the show down, but I guess I'll stay up here for a couple of minutes. If anybody has any questions, come on up on YouTube or TikTok. Or if you're on Facebook, let me see. Oh, no, we ain't got no Facebook views. If you're on YouTube or TikTok and you have a question or a disagreement about my philosophies or my ideologies, cometh here. You can request to come on up. If you're on, I'll drop a link down in the YouTube right now. Let's go. I know, that's crazy. Allah Haram says, yes, we have been inflicted. Basically, it'd be dope if we could stand together. It's insane. We are definitely in a bad situation. All right. If there are no questions and no disagreements, you guys know what time it is. We are about to be up out of here. What they doing down there? I don't know, Mecca. You do have a vague question. That's pretty vague. What is our DNA? Like, I don't know. That's pretty vague. It might be a logical answer or response behind it, but well, Mecca was giving Anthem blues down there. Salute, my brother. Hey, people, you know what it is. If we are nothing else, we are out of here.